हाय फ्रेंड्स, आज मैं फिर से एक न्यू स्टोरी के साथ आपको इंग्लिश रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस कराने आया हूँ। द स्टोरी इज द फुलिश फिश। ऐसे ही इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो आपको इस चैनल पर मिलते जाएंगे। मैंने काफ़ी सारे वीडियो ऑलरेडी डाल चुका हूँ। आप चाहें तो सारे प्लेलिस्ट पे इंग्लिश रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस के वीडियो अच्छे से देख सकते हैं। अगर आप इस चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें एंड लाइक एंड शेयर करना ना भूलें और वीडियो पूरा एंड तक जरूर देखें। फ्रेंड्स, वीडियो ज़रूर बोरिंग होता है इंग्लिश को सुनना, बट आप उस दिन की सोचिए जिस दिन आपको क्लास में खड़ा करके रीडिंग कराया जाएगा और आप रीडिंग नहीं कर पाएंगे और आपको पूरी क्लास में आप पे सब जने हंसेंगे। उससे बेटर है आप कुछ मेहनत करें जिससे आपको आउटपुट मिलेगा। मैं ऐसे ही इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो आपके लिए बनाता जा रहा हूँ जिससे आपको कभी भी शर्मिंदा ना होने पड़े अपनी क्लास में इंग्लिश रीडिंग को लेके। तो वीडियो पूरा अच्छा से एंड तक जरूर सुने, अच्छे से लिसन करें और कोई सी भी बुक लाके आप उसकी रीडिंग कर सकते हैं जिससे आपकी प्रोनाउंसिएशन जल्दी से जल्दी इम्प्रूव होगा। इंग्लिश रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस। इन ए ह्यूज पॉन्ड देयर लिव मैनी फिश। दे वर एरोगेंट एंड नेवर लिसनड टू एनीवन। इन दिस पॉन्ड देयर ऑल्सो ए लिव kind-hearted crocodile. He advised the fish, it does not pay to be arrogant and overconfident. It could be your downfall. But the fish never listened to him. There is that crocodile advising us again, they would say. One afternoon, the crocodile was resting beside a stone near the pond when two fishermen stopped there to drinking water. The fishermen noticed that the pond had many fish. Look, this pond is full of fish. Let's come here tomorrow with our fishing net, said one of them. I am surprised we have not seen this place before, exclaimed the other. The crocodile heard all this. When the fisherman left, he slowly slipped into the pond and went straight to the fish. You all had better leave this pond before dawn. Early morning, those two fishermen are going to come to this pond with their net, worried the crocodile. But the fish just laughed and said, there have been many fishermen who have tried to catch us. These two are not going to catch us either. Do not you worry about us, Mr. Crocodile, they said in a mocking voice. The next morning, the fishermen come and threw their net in the pond. The net were big and strong. Very soon all the fish were caught. If only we had listened to Mr. Crocodile. He had only wanted to help. For us arrogance, we have to pay with our lives, said the fish. The fisherman took the foolish fish to the market and sold them for a good profit. Once Donkey thought he was a good idea. He dressed himself in the skin of a tiger. In this disguise, he was able to go freely and around the forest. This is perfect life, he talked to himself. He had comfortable style also with the tiger skin life. But a forest ranger found him out. He hanged him. Some people who were passing by were surprised on seeing it. They asked the forest ranger, why have you hung a tiger? That is not a tiger, said the ranger. Look, it is a donkey dressed like a tiger, he further added. When the other men heard the fact, they agreed that no punishment was too great for the donkey come tiger. Beware of falsehood. Truth will be found out, they all said in chorus. In a small town lived a wealthy merchant. He was very kind and charitable. He had a son who had unfortunately fallen into a bad company. Many times the merchant advised his son not to go with the bad company, but all in vain. Please do not advise me what to do, my father. I know what is good for me and I know what to do, said the son. One day a great saint come to the town. The merchant went to the saint, sought his blessing and said, my spoiled son is the only cause of my worry. Please help me. After few minutes of contemplation, the saint replied, send your son to my ashram tomorrow morning. I will talk to him. Next morning, the merchant sent his son to the ashram on the saint. There the saint asked the son of pluck a flower of rose from the garden of the ashram. The son did as asked by the saint. Then the saint asked the son, smell it and feel its fragrance, my son. The boy did so. Then saint showed the son a sack of wheat, said, keep the rose near the sack. The boy followed the instruction. After an hour, the saint asked the boy to smell the rose again. How does it smell now? The saint asked the boy. The boy smelled the rose and said, it smells as good as before. Then the saint said, now keep the rose near this sack of jaggery. The boy did so. After an hour, the saint asked the boy to smell the rose again. Is there any change in the fragrance? The saint asked the boy. No. It smells as fresh as before, replied the boy. Then the saint said, boy, you should be like this rose, giving the fragrance to everyone, but at the same time not letting the bad smell rub onto you from anyone. Your good qualities are your strength. You should not lose them in bad company. The boy understood the saint's words and wisdom. I am grateful to you, O saint, for opening my eyes, said the merchant's son. From that day onwards, he was honest and credible like his cultured father. Long time ago, there lived a king. He was lazy and liked all the comfort of life. He never carried out his duties as a king. Our king does not take care of needs. He also ignores the affairs of the kingdom. The people complained. One day, the king went into the forest to hunt. After having wandered for quite some time, he became thirsty. to his relief, he spotted a lake. As he was drinking water, he suddenly saw a golden sow come out to lake and perch on a stone. Oh, a golden swan! I must capture it, though the king. But as soon as he held his bow up, the swan disappeared, and the king heard a voice. I am the golden swan. If you want to capture me, you must come to heaven. Surprised, the king said, please show me the way to heaven. Do good deeds, serve your people, and the messenger from heaven would come to fetch you to heaven, replied the voice. The selfish king, eager to capture the swan, tired doing some good deeds in the kingdom. Now, I suppose a messenger will come to take me to heaven, he thought, but no messenger come. The king then disgusted himself and went out into the street. There he tried helping any old man. But the old man became angry and said, you need not try to help. I am in his miserable state because of our selfish king. He was done nothing for his people. Suddenly, the king heard the golden swan's voice. Do good deeds and you will come to heaven. It dawned on the king that by doing selfish acts, he will not go to heaven. There once lived an old crane on the banks of a pond. He found it difficult to catch fish because of his old age. One day a crab came out of the water and asked the crane, why are you looking so sad? I am sad because this pond is going to fill up with mud, he replied. All the fish are soon going to die. The crab was scared. He soon told his friends in the pond. They all decided to ask crane for help. I will take a few fish every day in my beak to another pond and save all of you, said the old crane. All the fish agreed to this idea. The wicked crane took a few every day to a nearby hill. There he ate them up. One day it was time for the crab to go. He sat on the crane's beak. When he saw all the dead fish by caught hold of the crane's neck tight, unit fell down. He then returned joyful to the pond and told the remaining fish about the cunning works on the crane. Thereafter the fish avoided the crane. After some time the crane remained without food and at last died. One day a dog stole a big piece of meat and, proud of his courage, ran off with it, held tightly in his jaws. He reached the bank of the river where we looked down the speed another dog with a piece of meat in its mouth, every bite as big as his oven. He did not realize that it was merely his own reflection in the water. Feeling greedy, he threw himself on the other dog to steal his meat as well. Unfortunately, when he found himself in the water, he had to let go of his own piece of meat to avoid drowning, and so was left with nothing. So, greediness provided a cruise to him. Long ago, in a small village lived Vishnu Datta, a poor Brahman farmer. He worked hard but was not able to earn much. His son, Somu Datta, was always asking for more money. Be satisfied with what you have, my son, Vishnu Datta would say. One day, Vishnu Datta was resting in his field after work. Suddenly, he noticed a snake on by nearby mount. On seeing Vishnu Datta, the snake called and sat up with a raised hood. It looks so calm and peaceful. Maybe it is a deity. Though Vishnu Datta, he brought a whole bowl of milk from his house and offered it to the snake. Next morning, when Vishnu Datta come to collect the bowl, he found a gold coin in it. I am sure this is a holy snake, he thought. After that, it became a regular practice for him to offer prayers and milk to snake. And every morning he got a gold coin in a bowl near the mouth. This made Vishnu Datta a rich man. Once, while Vishnu Datta was always, his son Somu Datta had to keep the bowl of a milk nearby snake as usual. After some time, there was a gold coin in bowl near the mouth. Somu Datta, though, I guess there is a treasure of gold coins beneath his mouth. If I can kill this snake and dig under the mouth, I will get all the gold. With gold on his mind, Somu Datta dared to kill the snake. The snake bit Somu Datta and managed to escape. When Vishnu Datta returned, his wife told him everything. I always warned you against greed, said Vishnu Datta to his son. Then he ran toward the holy snake. With folded hands, he asked forgiveness and offered to milk the holy snake. But this time the holy snake did not accept it. I spared your son life because of your kidness. You will have to pay for his greed. I shall not help you any more, said the snake and disappeared. Once upon a time, there lived two pigeons. They were husband and wife. They spent their day looking for food. In the evening, they would come and rest on their favorite tree in the forest. One evening, the wife returned home early. As usual, she was waiting for her husband. When suddenly it started raining, she started to worry. Where are you, my dear? You never get so late. She whispered to herself. Just Then she saw bird catcher coming toward her. In a cage he had a pigeon. It was her husband. Oh no! What shall I do now? I wish I can help my husband, she said. She disapparently teared so distract the bird catchers by flapping her wings, but all in vain. Soon it stopped raining. Brr, it is so cold, said the bird catchers. His clothes were wet. He decided to sit under the gum tree where the two pigeons lived. The poor wife sat by her husband's cage, and she started to cry. The husband said, "Do not feel sad, dear. We now have a guest. This man is shivering and hungry. He needs your help." Hearing this, the wife flew around getting dry twigs. She made a fire for the bird catcher. Then she looked at the bird catcher and said, "You are our guest since I have no food to offer. I will jump into this fire. In this few minutes, I will become an edible item for you. You can eat me." By now, the bird catcher was overwhelmed by own hospitality of the humble pigeon couple. He at once stopped the wife jumping into the fire. He opened the cage and set the husband free. "I have been cruel and selfish. I will never trap any bird in my net again," said the bird catcher and went away. The two pigeons were happy to be returned. Mohandas was the son of a rich businessman. When his father died, Mohandas was left with an iron box with valuable in it. One day, Mohandas had to go to the city on some work. So, he took the iron box and handed it over to his moneylender friend. His name was Ram Sevak. "Please keep this box. My father gave it to me. I will return from city after few days and collect it from you," said Mohandas to Ram Sevak. "Please keep this box. My father gave it to me. I will return from city after few days and collect it from you," said Mohandas to Ram Sevak. "You do not have to worry. I will keep this box safely," said Ram Sevak. Mohandas started off his journey happily. He knew that his valuable iron box was safe with Ram Sevak. A few days later he returned. He went to his friend Ram Sevak and asked from the iron box. Ram Sevak pretended to look a little surprised. "Oh, the iron box. The rats ate it up. I just could not stop them," he said. Mohandas realized that his friend had become greedy and dishonest. Ram Sevak was trying to cheat him. Being an intelligent man, he kept quiet. "I must figure out a way to get my iron box back from Ram Sevak, though Mohandas. Next day, Mohandas went to Ram Sevak and said, "Friend, can you send your son with me? I need someone to look after my property." Ram Sevak, though for a while he brooded, Mohandas seemed to be a fool. Maybe will reward my son for looking after his property, though, Ram Sevak. Then immediately he agreed and sent his son with Mohandas. Next morning, Mohandas come running to Ram Sevak and said, "Dear friend, terrible thing has happened. A whack was cried your son away." Ram Sevak was furious and demanded, "How can a whack carry off my son? In the same way as the rats can eat up the iron box," answered Mohandas. "I am sorry, my friend. I realize my mistake," Ram Sevak said, with a bite of concern in his voice. He felt ashamed of having tried to cheat his friend. He gave the box back to his friend. Both of them were happy and remained good friends forever. Once there was naughty lamb. His mother always loved her child so much that she worried about the safety of the child. His mother always worried him, "Be careful, you must not go into the forest. Wild animals live in there. They may threaten you. Sometimes they would eat you." But the mischievous lamb never listened. The lamb casually went into the forest and played there for a long time till it returned dark in the evening. One day, as usual, the lamb wandered far off into the forest. There he saw a spring. "I am thirsty. Let me drink some water." Though he decided to take water from the spring for his thirty. While the lamb was drinking water in the spring, a wolf watched from behind a tree. "A lamb, my lucky day," the wolf though, approaching the lamb. The lamb was not aware of the wolf for some time. There was no one beside these two animals to save the lamb from the wolf. "You know, this forest belongs only to wild animals like me. Why have you come in here to take water from this spring?" asked the wolf. The lamb knew that wolves were dangerous animals. "Mother was worried me about wolves. I am sure this fellow wants to eat me for his lunch. This fellow is furious. I must escape from this animal," he thought. The wolf continued, "You are also dirtying water. You will I drink this pollute water now? But the spring follows from where you are standing down to where I am standing, sir," said the lamb in meek voice. The wolf was surprised to hear such an intelligent answer from the lamb. But the wolf was just looking for an excuse to kill the lamb. "How dare you argue with me? I think you are same lamb who had abused me last year," the wolf shouted. "Last year? But sir, I was not even born then," the lamb squealed. The lamb feared that the wolf was looking after a perfect to kill the lamb. The lamb, because cause of his words and gesture this way, both the lamb and the wolf tacked to each other casualty. The lamb heard some woodcutter. They were coming the way in which the lamb and the wolf were standing. If I can keep tacking to his wolf for a little while longer, the woodcutter will be here. They will chase him away, the clever lamb. So he said, Mr. Wolf, you are right. I have directed the water, but I did not mean to upset you. This way, the lamb kept on the talking for few more minutes. As the lamb spoken, the woodcutter arrived. They saw both the lamb and the wolf. They caught the wolf and beat him before letting him go. The lamb was realized to be safe. They ran back to his mother. He told her his mother what had happened in forest with the wolf and woodcutter, and they promised his mother never wander into the forest again. There was a village in a kingdom. There was living a milkman. His name was Dinu. He had built his but far away from his village, in woods. He loved cuteness of the woods rather than noisy atmosphere of the village. He lived in his hut with his 2 cows. He fed them well and took proper care of them. Every day he took the 2 cows to nearby lake to bathe them. The 2 cows give more milk. With the milk that the 2 cows give, he earned enough money to live happily. Dinu was a honest man, though he was connected at times would be restless. There is so much wrong and evil in this world. In there nobody to guide the people. This though made is sad every now and then. One evening, the ignorant man Dinu was returning home after selling milk in the village. He saw Sant sitting under a tree and meditating. He slowly walked up to him and waited for the Sant to open his eyes. He was happy to be the Sant sometime. He decided to wait there itself till the Sant opened his eyes. After a while, the Sant slowly opened his eyes. He was surprised to see a man pretendingly sitting beside him. What do you want? Asked the Sant humbly. I want to know what the path to truth, the pity is. Where shall I find honesty? Asked Dinu. The Sant smiled and said, Go to the pond nearby and ask the fish the same question. She will give you answer. Then he asked to do. The ignorant man Dinu went to nearby pond and asked the same question to fish. The fish said, O kingman, first bring me some water to drink. Dinu was surprised. He said, You live in water, but you still want water drink. So strange. At this moment the fish replied, You are right, and that give your answer to your question as well. Truth, pity and honesty are inside the heart of a man, but being ignorant and searches for them in outer world. Instead of wandering here and there, look within yourself and you will find them. This gives an immense satisfaction to Dinu. He thanked the fish and walked home a wiser man. He changed the way in which saw this man as well himself. From that day, Dinu never felt restless. He took his best to carry this message to the rest of fellow human beings. All his friends accept him as their master and consult him overcome their mental problem. He led them properly. I stumbled on a wallet someone had lost in the street. Wanting to find the owner, I opened it, but it only contained $3 and any old crumble envelope. I opened the letter and I saw a written address and deadline 1924. It has been writing 60 years ago. It was signed Han. I called information. Maybe there was a phone listening for the address. The operator hesitantly told me there was a number, but the best she could do so call it and see if they wanted to connect. I learned that Han was now living in a nursing home and was give the number. It seemed silly wanting to connect someone over a letter written 60 years ago, but I felt impelled. I was told the Han was there, and though it was fairly late, I followed my instinct and went to see her. She was sweet, silver-haired lady with a warm smile and a twinkle in her eye. I told her about finding the wallet and showed her the letter. She took a deep breath and said, "Young man, this letter was the letter connect I ever had, Michel," she said softly. I loved him very much, but I was only 60 at the time and my mother felt I was too young. If you should find him, tell him I still love him. फ्रेंड्स, इंग्लिश रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस का ये वीडियो आपको कैसा लगा कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताएं। अगर आप इस चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब और अपने दोस्तों को इस वीडियो को शेयर करें ताकि मुझे मोटिवेशन मिले और भी अच्छे अच्छे वीडियो बनाने के लिए। ऐसे इंग्लिश रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस के मैं काफ़ी सारे वीडियो आपके लिए लेकर आ रहा हूँ इस चैनल पे। ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे वीडियो अपलोड कर चुका हूँ और नए नए वीडियो अपलोड कर रहा हूँ, तो आप इस चैनल के साथ जुड़े रहिए और ऐसे ही वीडियो को पूरा देखते रहिए। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो।